So Sam Smith wants to go fishing. So
Meet me after slashing your wrist, or at the end if you so insist. I'm the system when told to cease and desist with this blasphemous shit.
hello, Chalet, beautiful humans. So Sam Smith was in an interview, referred to themselves as a FisherThem. Now I'm gonna slip up a lot because I'm still getting used to it. It's okay. It's not a problem. I often call they, he, because it's language I'm not used to. So people were born in 1910 would refer to a gay person as either a prostitute or a man who sleeps with lots of women, ironically often prostitutes. If you was around in 1960, gay would mean a man who sleeps with men. Weird thing is, we happen to be living in that little gap in between the two eras. How do we handle and process this information as language evolves? Not by losing your shit, but surely that's not the right answer, man. People are doing too much. They're saying too much. Let me show you the clip that I'm referring to. That I'm gonna have to start calling Sam Smith a slushy. I identify Sam Smith as a slushy because everything he does gives everybody brain freeze. Yes, I had to say that. And yes, it was cheesy. And no, I don't give a fuck. It was still good.
You're a big fan of fishing.
I do love
No.
fishing.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
What?
Yeah, I'd love to be a fisher them.
What, like a fly fisherman?
I'd be any type of fisher them. I think I would like to one day. I'd just like to end my days fishing. Like
We
sitting
can
on the
sort
bank.
that out.
Isn't it?
Do you
Yeah.
fly
Peaceful.
fishing or like?
I do it on the sea and I do it in lakes. I've never done it alone.
So cool.
Someone's always taught me.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fairly innocuous conversation. So many things to point out. Everyone's lost their shit. Oh my god. So now we have to refer to everybody as FisherThem. You never said that? They never said that? Did you notice? Obviously you noticed Sam referred to themselves as a FisherThem. Cool. Sam also had to remind themselves as they were saying it because they're still learning also. They wasn't born talking like this because language is evolving. So Sam didn't even articulate it best, just saying it. The, I assume, lady then come back with fisherman. Did you notice? Sam didn't get all hissy. Didn't acknowledge it. Just repeated Fisher them. And nothing conversation. On Twitter, for example, it's so funny. Tell my 19-year-old fella who still enjoys a bit of angling that he's now a fisher them and not a fisherman. What a load of fucking bollocks. Who said that? Sam Smith. Never heard of him. Not surprised, considering you're 90. But whoever he is, he's a fucking gobshite. First of all, come on. That conversation didn't happen. At 90-year-old, they're not going to know who Sam Smith is. They're not going to know who Rishi Sunak is. And then at what part of the conversation did Sam Smith say everybody is a fisherman? I'm pretty certain Sam Smith referred to themselves as a fisherman. Cool. That one kind of gets it, but still kind of doesn't. Like saying 60% to the point they think Sam's in, and he said here again, intentionally trolling. No. With the music videos, probably. I've not really paid much attention to them, but one of the tunes sounded banging, but the video looked a bit much for me, so I just didn't. When I saw it, I wasn't really in the mood to watch it. Cool. I lived my life. But, and the outfits at the awards, Lady Gaga went and meet. I don't see what the problem is. Musicians need to get noticed, especially when they have a product out to be bought. And obviously the charts are set up in such a way Sam will make money off that particular song for years to come. But sales only count on a weekly basis. So you need as many sales in 1 week to qualify for the charts. Grab some attention. Dress like a flipping... I don't know what it is. It's hilarious. And we're all clicking, we're all looking. Boom. Sales. Boom. Cool. This conversation was completely separate. That was the person learning. A person talking about aspirations. People listening. Everyone else lost their stuff and considered it trolling. I wasn't trolling. The suit is trolling. That wasn't trolling, that was conversation. So, considering Sam is non-binary, everything that would potentially have a man or woman would need to change. And I'm sure every now and again when Sam's got a spliff in his hand and is just... He probably first said, I want to be a fisherman. And then corrected himself and said, fish them. In 10 years, it won't even be a fourth. But considering he's non-binary, should he ignore the fact he's non-binary on certain words just because you hadn't thought of that particular word yet? Christ. We call them police officers. We call them referee's assistant. That's the best one. That is the best one. I remember there was a bit, it happened, I looked up, it happened about 96, right? And I do remember there was a bit of yakety yak, but it weren't too much. Do you know what I mean? Like, not to the levels of today. But what struck me was the FA's reasoning for doing it. This was 96. Men in 96 hadn't even conceived of the concept that women might like football. But yet, the FA changed it from linesman to referee's assistant, primarily, apparently, to add more value to the job or describe the job they have to do. I guess because it's more than just the offside rule. They are allowed to tell the ref, yo, that man slap man. So I guess they do a bit more. So a referee's assistant does slightly make more sense. But we'd already had 100 and something years of football at this stage, and the entire time the person running up and down the side of the pitch was a linesman. The secondary reason they did it was a preempted strike to make the role non-binary. Blood clot! In 96, bro. 96, bro. That's the FA. Do you know what? I can cuss the FA about a million things, but that shocked me. In 96, I wouldn't have known what that was. And if someone tried telling me that, I probably would have cussed it. But we're in 2023. But the point is, even a millennia ago, certain people were already thinking about these things. The action was already on the way. Does that mean you are Hitler if you constantly keep referring to Sam as he? No. In that little clip, you saw how Sam even struggles sometimes. So it's fine. Muhammad Ali even addressed the issue. He says if a person comes over to him and calls him Cassius Clay, but you can tell context. So if they say it in a way where they're genuinely not mean an offense, they just know you as Cassius Clay. He said he wouldn't get angry. He would just say, my name's Muhammad Ali. How can I help you? Boom. End the conversation. But he also said if a person come over and says, hey, boy, he's a good old boy, Cassius Clay, like, and deliberately disrespecting him, now we got an issue. That's all it is. Make mistakes. Call Sam a he. As long as you're not doing it deliberately because you can't be bothered to change your vocabulary. The vocabulary will evolve eventually. You'll just eventually be like today's old person who says coloured still. I don't get mad at a 70-year-old who says coloured, and I am definitely not gonna correct him. That's ridiculous. They're not trying to be offensive to me. That's just how they're talking, because everybody spoke like that back in the day. If he says fucking before the word coloured, then maybe we might have to have a conversation. But if he says, oh, I saw these couple of coloured guys walking down the road, I'm not even going to bat an eyelid, bro. Because I know he's not being offensive. Context. So please elaborate. Why is everyone so upset that Sam called themselves a FisherThem? I'll show you a couple more tweets. A couple had me, like, there was one that had me, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, and I'm sure it's gonna get rinsed, but it was the first time I saw it today. I didn't even read it. As soon as I saw man's face, I realized what they were saying. It was I support Liverpool, innit? So we've had some legends. John Barnes, Bruce Grubler, Kenny Dalglish. We've had some legends. Another legend we had is Steve McManaman. He eventually left us to join Real Madrid. This one's killed me, bro. one of them. I love it. I love it. That is wicked. I reckon if Sam knows about football, he's being bitchy if that didn't make him laugh. That's when you can say, "No, you're taking a piss," because that actually is funny. Like, you can't say it's not funny. You got this guy. This cunt Sam Smith is taking the absolute piss. How English could you get, bro? Why? Why? Because one day Sam wants to be a FisherThem. Wow, bro. Oh, this one's hilarious, right? I'm guessing this was a screenshot from Facebook that someone tweeted. This bugs me. Not for any political or philosophical reason. Bullshit. But because it's terrible English. Right, this is the bit that kills me, right? Because in an online frame, they could have shut a lot of people down who didn't think a bit clearer. If they'd cut it halfway. I'll tell you what I mean. But because it's terrible English, fisherman refers to anyone of any gender fishing, as the man was used in these instances in the same way that man would have been used in human. If they'd have cut it right there, bro.
We all go a little crazy sometimes.
Bobby, no! Oh, yes!
Would have been so close, man. But they spoiled it with the very next fucking line. This was constructed during an extremely patriarchal time. Oh my god, bro, you were so close. So close. Who the fuck shoots down an argument and then shoots themselves down kamikaze style afterwards? Fuck's sake. This was constructed during an extremely patriarchal time of our language development, but the point still stands. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You just smashed your own point with that. If you don't get that either, like, please read a couple books. And then listen to this dude, bruv. Like, this conversation with an English priest or vicar or whatever you call him with an afro who uses his afro for propaganda. Chatting in Australia, bro.
With you. To Sam Smith. Now, his pronouns are they, them, so it's a plural. Maybe that's something the Church of England could adopt. But he's also invented another word.
Why not? Isn't God non-binary? Is God a he? Is God a she? But everything is male feminine. What? It makes no sense. God, I'm calling you a he. What are you going to do, bro? Anyway, carry on.
Instead of fisherman, it's FisherThem. Listen to this.
You're a big fan of fishing.
I do love fishing.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
What?
Yeah, I'd love to be a fisherthem.
What, like a fly fisherman?
I'd be any type of fisherthem. I think I would like to. One day, I'd just like to end my days fishing. Like
We can
sitting on a
sort that out.
Isn't it?
Do you fly
Peaceful.
fishing or like?
I do it on the sea and I do it in the lakes. I've never done it alone.
So cool.
Someone's always taught me.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that.
He just subtly introduces it into the conversation. What do you think of that new term, FisherThem? Will it catch on?
I don't think he's ever fished in his life. I think he put that in there on purpose to get the word FisherThem out. And it's so clumsy, isn't it? Even him.
Do you really think the world's that deep? If Sam joined the police and the police still use the term policeman and policewoman, Sam would have to say police them. Anything that has man on the end, he would have to change. The problem is, the word fisherman never comes up in day-to-day life, bro. So of course you've never FisherThem. Why do you care? You're never gonna say fisherman. Fuck's sake. So obviously it's gonna sound bizarre to your ears. If you never hear fisherman, FisherThem is obviously gonna sound even more peculiar. Come on, bro. If someone come to me in London and said, I'm going to be a fisherman, I'll be like, where's the fucking water, bro? That's never in a conversation. That's weird.
Using it doesn't sound right, but he's buttering the language for attention. And it's worked. We've given him attention again. So in recent weeks,
With that imagery, he happened to pick two pictures, like stained glass pictures. Like, where have they even come from and why are they positioned like that? I don't get it. But they both happen to look like they got afros, and he's there with the big afro in the middle. I am cussing his afro because he does use it as a propaganda tool. He's mulatto, but he's not mulatto. He's a mulatto that would have owned. Trust me, bro. His views on slavery and that is ridiculous. Attention seeking because he wants to be a fisherman.
we've seen him in his music video with simulated sex acts and, you know, golden showers and all that nastiness. We've seen him at the awards where he was.
Every time I've heard him speak, as the first time he let the nigger out, bro, with that nastiness, that's not the speech of a priest, bro. He normally has his dog collar as well, bro. Nastiness. And how does he know about a golden shower? And I haven't seen the video about. I didn't know golden showers was in there, but it's one of the first things he's talking about.
Dressed as the devil, had people worshipping him, and then we've seen him at another awards
Halloween
ceremony where he's wearing this horrible black latex thing. He's such an attention seeker, and of course,
he's a pop star, bro.
also using the pronouns they, them, as if there's more than one of him. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe he has some kind of demonic possession going on. Maybe that's why he's all into all this satanic nonsense at the moment. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that is a bloke. That is a man. And we should call him him.
Well, I do find it amusing when the media respect the they, them pronouns, and then they construct these sentences that are gibberish, almost incomprehensible, because to refer to an individual with plural pronouns can be confusing depending on what the sentence is trying to say. Calvin Robinson, thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure to speak with you.
See, she kicked back a little bit on the he's a bloke. That's language, bro. Considering you're so pro-England, you should know about the English language, bro. The King James Bible, which I'm sure he's obsessed with, was written in 1611. When the King James Bible was written, yes, Jesus is in there as a he, probably. But the English language only consisted of about 50 or 60,000 words. In 2023, depending on where you look, there's between 500,000 and 1,000,000 words, bro. And we're still limiting ourselves to they, them. We could literally make new words for it. Sam Smith is still trying to confine himself in the English language because there isn't a word yet. So we're using they, them. And she was right. It can get confusing. I've had that. I was in a group chat once on TikTok or something, and then I was getting into arguments with someone, and then I went to say they, but there was a they in the room, and then I was like, how do I word this now? Cool, we can all go through that. I'm sure in this video I've called Sam he bare times. Even in his videos, Sam had to make sure they said the right thing. Fisher, them. It's cool. Just don't do it maliciously, man. And why does it offend you if someone wants to be called a fish? So what? So what? Like, even aside from all the fact that the English language is constantly evolving, it's constantly growing as more words are added to it. Prefixes and suffixes added to words make new words all the time. Scientific terms add new words all the time. There's loads of new words. Most of them we're never gonna say. Like, the majority of us are never gonna say FisherThem, because the chance, especially if you live in a city, just think about it. You live in a city. What are the chances in 2023 the average person is going to be walking about in a big city and bump into a non-binary fisher? You're not going to do it. So it means nothing to you. So why do you care? Why are you so offended? Please, if you bump into a non-binary fisher person, a non-binary fishers, I guess maybe they would be, please tag me in a photo or something, please. Because you're not gonna. Friggin' hell. Look how society is at the moment, yeah? We're only just getting to a stage where gay people in certain parts of society are brave enough to come out and acknowledge we're gay. Like the footballer the other day. Come on, like, we're only at that stage. Do you think there's a fisherman in a rural village who, like, the village has 100 people living in it? You think that person is going to be brave enough to tell his mom and pa, I'm a they, them? Fuck off. If I was gay, I'm telling you straight. If I... That was terrible. I didn't mean that. But if I was gay, 100%, rest in peace, 100%, if I was gay, I never would have told my dad. Never. Doesn't mean I wouldn't have still loved him. Wouldn't have meant we wouldn't have still had a relationship. But I would have known that would have destroyed us. So I would have hid that until the day he died. 100%. So there's no way some young person in some rural place is gonna be brave enough to tell their parents who probably barely had an education and go hunting and have shotguns around the house, I'ma date them. They're probably just getting to the stage where they're brave enough to say, I'm gay. So chill. Life is not that deep. It's not gonna affect your life if Sam Smith wants to be a FisherThem. And if it does, please, like, I'd love to learn how will it impact your life negatively. Sam Smith referring to themselves as a FisherThem, or anyone referring to themselves as a FisherThem. I'd love to learn. But at the moment, you just sound like a spoiled brat. Love you guys.